Here at home, the Trump administration sending shockwaves through the federal workforce. Thousands of workers who handle everything from managing federal lands to caring for military veterans have been fired. At least 2,000 workers were let go from the Department of Energy, more than 1,000 from Veteran Affairs, and another 1,000 from the Centers for Disease Control. And the agency in charge of our nuclear stockpile had roughly 300 employees fired yesterday, only to be told just a short time later they weren't all being fired after all. Now, ABC has learned that roughly 15,000 IRS employees have been identified for possible termination as early as next week. ABC's Jay O'Brien joins me now from D.C. with the latest. Jay, what can you tell us about this latest mass layoff to take place at the IRS?
Yeah, this is a scoop, Phil, from our Ann Flaherty, our senior national policy reporter. And it is, as you said, according to a person familiar, they have identified DOJ and various others in part of this Trump administration effort to gut various federal agencies, have identified about 15,000 IRS employees that could be terminated as early as next week. The exact number of terminations, obviously unclear because they haven't gone through yet. This source tells, again, our Ann Flaherty, that these are individuals who are not directly responsible with filing tax returns. And that's notable, of course, because we are in tax season and hurtling towards it every single passing week until April. And it's unclear what kind of impact this would have on tax season, but it underscores, Phil, as you said, that these are massive cuts to agencies across the federal government, touching everything from, like you said, maintaining the U.S. nuclear stockpile to the Forest Service to the CDC to now potentially the IRS.
And Jay, I wanted to ask you about this. Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency was handed a win Friday after a federal judge said DOJ can continue to access sensitive records from at least 3 federal agencies. But now there is some concern among the intelligence community about some of that data shared by DOJ. What can you tell us about that?
So DOJ has been, remember, Phil, posting some of its work, not all of it, but some of its work on a web portal and on an X feed. And Elon Musk has pointed folks to both of those things to say, look at what DOJ is doing. And posted on its website was information about an agency called the National Reconnaissance Office. It's not what comes to mind initially when you think of a spy agency or an intelligence agency, but it has a very specific role in which it builds, maintains, and keeps an eye on the satellites that the U.S. uses for reconnaissance and for spying, frankly. This is an agency in which the budget and the head count were posted of online. And you're not really supposed to have that information for a classified agency whose work is often classified posted online. Its budget and its head count.
Yeah. All right. Jay O'Brien, thanks so much.